It had nothing to do with a mystic or some, spiritual teaching, no.
So our cinnamon is not only in tea, doctor. We put it in the masala also.
Yeah, put in masala, put it everywhere. No, don't do that now. Cinnamon is a medicine, no. It's not, you should not drink it, you should not take it for fun. See, your masala, you take a little bit, it's good for your stomach, you know. But you take it overdoses every day, it will destroy your stomach, you know. That's why India, so many people are having stomach problem.
Before we begin, we would like to share a quick disclaimer. The content presented in this program is intended for informational and academic purposes, particularly related to the history and theoretical understanding of traditional Chinese medicine. It is not meant to replace professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. If you have any medical concerns or health conditions, please consult your physician or a qualified traditional Chinese medicine practitioner. Please do not ignore or delay seeking professional medical advice because of something discussed in this program. Your health decisions should always be guided by a qualified healthcare professional.
Okay, so good morning, everyone. Welcome to the session 3 of our studying of the Shang Han Lun. This is a part of our new initiative, the Sunya Open University Learning. We can call this as the soul of education. And what else to begin this new Open University Learning process than to study one of the greatest teachers in medicine, Shang Han Lun, and taught by a great loving teacher, Dr. Lim himself. Good morning, doctor.
Yeah, morning.
So, Doctor, as we embark or continue our journey, we finished session 1 on the preface of Chang Chung Ching when he was actually talking to us and letting us know how important this study is. Second, we did study the initial 10 verses, and today we will be going on the next 10 verses.
Yeah.
But before that, Doctor, can we quickly revise those 10 verses, the first 10 verses?
Yeah, the first 10 verses actually is the classifier, you know. Okay. Mainly on this exogenous system, the external system, no. And there are two types, you know. One is exoyin, one is exo-yang. Yin means low in metabolism, okay. Yang means excess in metabolism. Okay. So many people they thought that when we are teaching herbs, no, we should talk about the herbs from the very first day.
Yeah.
No. You cannot become herbalist by studying herbs, no. Cannot. You become herbalist by studying the symptoms.
Correct.
Okay, and the accent of the herbs, then you can become a herbalist. Yeah.
So, Doctor, we will quickly use the AI to make some pictorial depiction of the verses. So, this was the first verse where exogenous disease, the Taiyang disease, was characterized by these 4 points: the floating pulse, the headache, the stiffness of the nape, and aversion to cold.
Yeah, and also body pains.
Body pains also. So, we can add that. Okay, next slide. Next verse. Okay, here is the exo-in. And here it is saying that if there is fever, spontaneous sweating, aversion to wind, and a moderate pulse, this is called as exo-in.
Is that correct, doctor? Yeah, the pulse and the skin.
Pulse and skin.
Because when your metabolism is weak, you know, it cannot control fruits. So the fruit are leaking out becomes sweats, no. That means there's a sign of low metabolism. Okay, then your pulse become weak, you know. Okay, that is the indication.
Okay.
Yeah. Sometimes we look at the tongue also. The tongue become pale. Yeah.
Okay. The third one. Okay. Here it's saying that in the exogenous disease, that's the Taiyang disease, whether there is already fever or not yet fever, there must be aversion to cold, body pain, and retching, and a pulse that is tight in both yin and yang. This is called as exo-yin. Here, the doctor, we see there's fever, aversion to cold, body pain, and retching. Tight pulse.
Yeah. This cold and aversion to cold is a signature of exogenous, no? Aversion to cold means you feel chill. Actually, when we are having fever, you know, we don't feel hot, you know, we feel chill. That is a characteristic of exogenous. Okay. Then there are body pains, okay. Then there are sometimes there are also this little bit of nausea. Yeah.
Okay, let's take the next slide. Verse 4 says that the transmission of the exogenous disease, if on the first day of the Shang Han, the exogenous is affected, if the pulse is calm, it indicates that the disease will not transmit and develop further into the body. If there is a tendency to vomit or if there is restlessness and agitation, the pulse is rapid and urgent. It indicates transmission into deeper section of the body. Yes, doctor.
We as a doctors, no, prevention is
Huh.
better than cure. Okay, so that we should also know whether this disease develop deep into the body or not. If develop deep into the body, it's not a good sign, you know. Okay, for example, nausea. Nausea, that means it's really deep into the stomach. Okay, nausea, and also agitation, you know. They feel restless, nausea, restless, no? Okay, all the opposite of restless, they feel stupor, no? Feel very, very tired. Okay, so they already go inside the body. So the treatment is not the same.
Yeah. Okay, next slide. Yeah, here transmission, doctor. Then, on the second or the third day of the Shang Han, that if the pulse is calm, it indicates that disease will not transmit and develop further into the body. It indicates the disease has not transmitted into the body. No transmission, disease has been transmitted into the body. Here again, the same thing, doctor. It's through the symptoms that we can know whether the disease is progressing or not progressing.
By checking the pulse, no?
By checking the pulse, yeah.
If the pulse suddenly become rapid, become forceful, or become tense, okay, then something is wrong inside the body. From the pulse, you can see what is happened to the body, you know. Okay, then also from the breathing, whether the breathing is coarse, whether the breathing is panting. Okay, sometimes they catch a breath, no, that is already deep into the lung. Okay, so these are the telltale signs. Then we as a doctor, you should be very careful.
Yeah, 1 minute, doctor. I think my internet has just, we had a power drop.
I can hear you now. I can hear you. Yeah. Worm disease is the contagious disease.
Yeah. So I think, doctor, I have a power problem here. Just my light just went off. But can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay.
But I can see the skin. The skin. Talk about worm disease.
Okay. Yeah. Good. So after this, doctor, we go to the next verse 7. Verse 7. Yeah. Here again, if you see, doctor, here it's arising of the yang and the arising of the yin.
The skin is not changing.
Then it did not change?
Yeah, no.
Verse 7?
No, it's still no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here you see the numbering of the days have come here. That, as you said, you can take it with a pinch of salt. The yang is in 7 days and the yin is in 6 days. This is based on I Ching.
No. This one, just take it a pinch of salt. Nowadays, you know that the normal flu, if the flu is not contagious flu, no, the normal flu, normally within 7 days, it will recover by itself. If within 7 days not recover by itself, not like COVID, that means it's serious already. It's a contagious disease that you have to be very careful. It had nothing to do with a mystic or some what they call spiritual teaching. No, when there are a lot of people, this Zoom started to behave very erratically. Yeah. Maybe you should subscribe the maximum one. Can get more audience. So now we go to this
verse 11.
11, yeah. Okay. When a patient has experienced great heatiness of the body and yet instead wishes to put on more clothing, the heat is in the skin and the cold is in the bone marrow. Okay. When the body has experienced a great cold, yet instead does not wish to put on more clothing, the cold is in the skin and the heat is in the bone marrow. Now, this one is very important. Okay, 11 is very important. Okay, I go back to 11. Sometimes the heat and cold are superficial. Okay, so you see when they are cold inside the body, it pushes the heat upward. So externally you see a person is very heaty. Okay, but he refused to what do you call? I think and want to put on more clothes. There is something wrong. Inside the body is cold. Okay, so sometimes a person experience cold, okay, corners, okay, but does not want to put on more clothes. You see, when they are cold inside the body, it pushes the heat upward, you know. When they are heat inside the body, it pushes the cold upward. Okay, that's why you should not look the thing superficially, you know. You should check the feeling. You should check his pulse. Yeah, yeah. That is the meaning of the number 11.
Okay.
The Taiyang Zhongfeng, the yang is floating and the yin is weak. When the yang is floating, heat arises spontaneously. When the yin is weak, spontaneous sweating occurs. There is shivering and aversion to cold, slight aversion to wind, gentle fever, nasal congestion with sound, and dry retching. 桂枝汤, no? This 桂枝 decoction is the main treatment. This is the Formula 1. Now, this Taiyang, what do you mean by Taiyang? Taiyang means a major yang, no? The outer yang. Okay, Zhongfeng means you're exposed to the wind. When you see wind, in Shang Han Lun, it means external. Okay, external. But I classify into exogen, no? Easy for us to understand. That means the metabolism is low. Okay, how do you know that the metabolism is low? Because the power is floating, you know, and weak. Okay, so when the power is floating, it what they call it created fever. So when the power is weak, okay, it caused this wet skin, you know, spontaneous sweating. Okay, so when a person just a sweat without any reason, that means the metabolism is low. Okay, then aversion to cold. Okay, that means when there's aircon, when there are wind, you know, fan, he doesn't feel like it, you know. They call aversion to cold or aversion to wind. Then a slight aversion to wind, you know. Then when exposed to the wind, you feel very uneasy. Then they have gentle fever. The fever is not very high. Okay. Then sometimes they have this nasal blockage, no? Nasal blockage when he breathes, no, he's making a sounds. And wry retchings, no? Sometimes you have a little bit of nausea. Okay. So all these things are important. Then we should use this 桂枝汤. 桂枝means cinnamon sticks. I think we come to the formulation.
Yeah. So, doctor, to just summarize, Yakso-ing, basically, we will know that because of the low metabolism or the body cannot hold on to the fluid, so it will be wet. You will have aversion to cold. These are the basic things you will realize. Correct?
Yeah, aversion to cold is for all exogenous.
All exogenous.
Exogen, exogen, or aversion to cold.
Okay.
Then the only difference is wet or dry skin.
Wet or dry skin.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's take the next slide. So, doctor, here now, I think so, comes the formula.
Go to formulation, go to formulation. So, because some of you are very impatient asking about the formulation already.
So here, Kuichi means cinnamon twig.
Okay,
and doctor, to explain what cinnamon twig is, basically, it's not the cinnamon bark that we're talking about, right?
No. There are three types of cinnamon, no? Very careful, no? One is the Ceylon cinnamon, the thick, what I call the thin one, you know, the thin one. And then one is the cassia cinnamon or the Chinese cinnamon with a thicker bark. Okay. Then these are Indonesian cinnamon. Okay. The most aromatic one is Indonesian. Next is the cassia cinnamon. Okay. Then this Ceylon cinnamon are very mild. Here it means the cassia cinnamon or the Chinese cinnamon. In India, you have a lot, you know.
Yes.
Okay. And Hui means cinnamon, Zi means sticks. Okay. It's the branches, no. It's the branches. Here it says remove the bark. No. We don't remove the bark. That means you don't choose this twig with a thick bark, no. Thick bark, that means you go internal, no. We want to induce sweating. Yeah. You cannot use thick cinnamon, you know. So this cinnamon do not induce sweating. The one induce sweating are the thin one. Okay. The creature, no. Okay. Now. Then the liang is the ancients this thing.
Measuring
about 9 grams. But forget about that because later on I will put in a modern measurement.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, don't worry about that.
Peony roots, doctor. They will be.
Yeah, pony roots. Pony are a beautiful flower. No, you have a lot in India. Saoyao, no. Okay, you see, we use aromatic can induce sweating, but sometimes over induction of sweating is very harmful to a person. You know. Zhang Zhongjin, you this is Saoyao. Saoyao is a little bit cold. Okay, you check the action of squeeze. So that you don't over induce the sweating until your throat become dry. You know, you put in Saoyao, the throat will not become dry.
So this is like a regulator.
Regulator, yeah. A Saoyao is a regulator. If you are over sweating, you reduce sweating. You know. Okay, if there's no sweating, it induces sweating. It's a regulator. Okay, then Kantao is a licorice. Then you see the honey fried, you know, they fry it with honey, okay, to make it warm in nature. Okay, I think licorice also you have a lot in India, but only thing that in India they don't treat it with honey. But that is not so critical, you know. Sometimes we use it without honey treatment also, never mind. One more thing, I say, remove the bug. You don't remove the bug. You don't use the filter with thick bug. It means don't use the thick bug.
Don't use the thick bug. We make a note of that. Yes, doctor.
Yeah.
So now, doctor, the question here is that, okay, we cinnamon twig, peony root, licorice. Let's take the next slide. The formula continues. Then we have fresh ginger.
Right, dry ginger and jujube.
Yeah, jujube. Okay. The above 5 ingredients, crush 3 of them.
Yeah, that means you should chop them into fine pieces, no? Because guizi are stick, you know. You should slice it. Normally the pharmaceutical they slice for us. When they buy it, they already chop it nicely already.
Then
even the pony also is a roots, you have to cut it. You have to cut it so easy for the diffusion.
Then it's saying add 7 sheng of water. Simmer
Sun
over
is an ancient measuring. Okay, and forget about all these things. Forget about the ancient measuring. No, I have the modern one at the end of the session.
Okay, add 7 sheng of water. Simmer over gentle heat and reduce to 3 sheng.
Yeah,
so that's almost half.
You hot boil after boiling. No, then you keep the heat small. Okay. Then 1 sheng is about the ancient liter. No, it's about here is about 200 cc. So about 1.5 liter you boil until it become to 600 cc for 3 intake. Zhang Zhongjin formula for 3 intake, you know. But nowadays we don't do that anymore. We do only for 1 intake. After you remove the dregs, remove the herbs, take only the soup. Don't take the herbs.
So the common question asked even in the veggie soup when they make, what to do with the all the boiled veggies? They feel that it is a waste when we throw them.
Throw away the veggie. Don't take
throw away the veggie. Okay.
No, when you take the veggie in 1 or 2 days time, you become what they call your stomach become bloated, you know. No, because sometimes you take it for 1 week, take it for 2 weeks, no. You drink only the soup. Don't take
only
the veggie.
Okay. After taking it, wait a short while and then sip a little over 1 sheng of hot thin rice gruel in order to induce sweating, assist the strength of the medicine. Now explain this.
We want to induce sweating, you know. Sometimes when you drink, you do not sweat. What do we do? We cover a little bit, okay. Then we consume hot porridge, hot rice porridge, plain porridge, no. Okay. So when you do not have porridge, you can take this what they call the oats, or you can take this cereal also can. Take cereals also can, okay. So that cover the body a little bit. Then for a slight sweating will do, no. Don't sweat what they call
profusely.
No, confusely. No. Otherwise you caught dehydration.
Warmly cover the body for about the space of 1 shi. If a slight fine sweat appears over the body, that is best. Do not allow profound sweating like free flow water. If so, the illness will certainly not be cured. Wow, that's a warning.
No. You cause dehydration, that can kill a person, you know. Be careful, you know.
So no wonder, doctor, here Koichi is being used so that there is mild sweating, not fuse sweating.
Yeah, mild sweating. And he used the pony to check it, you know.
He
used this pony to check the quiz.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a very famous formulation for external
Okay.
problem. No, external problem not only fever. No, sometimes itchiness of the skin.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes boils. No, pimples.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the body pains. All these things, which can solve the problem.
Yeah. So let's take next slide.
Yeah.
If after one dose sweating occurs and the illness is relieved, stop the subsequent doses. It is not necessary to finish the entire course.
Yeah. Some people after taking it feel good. Then take
Ah.
again, then oversweating and cause problem, complication.
Ah.
When you take these herbal medicines, when you feel okay, stop it immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they
If
boil for 3%. You take one or two, it's already okay, then forget about the third one.
they don't want to waste it, so it's okay to just throw it away.
Yeah. Throw it away. Yeah.
If there is no sweating, take another dose following the previous method.
Yeah. Sometimes
If
the disease is very stubborn. One
mm,
taking menopause, then you take the second serving.
if there is still no sweating, take the subsequent doses at slightly shorter intervals so that the 3 doses are taken within about half a day.
Yeah. Within 2 hours, you take it.
3 times.
This one is very frequent. Normally, it's 4 hours one taking. But sometimes the illness is serious. We take it every 2 hours.
Mm-hmm. If the illness is severe, take it throughout one day and one night, observing the
Yeah.
condition over a full
Yeah.
cycle of time.
Yeah.
When one preparation has been completely taken and the disease signs still remain, prepare and take another dose.
Yes.
If
Sometimes
sweating,
you cannot serve with one dose. Just take 2 to 3 doses to solve the problem. Yeah.
if sweating does not occur, then take up to 2 or 3 preparations. Avoid raw and cold foods, sticky and slippery foods, meat and wheat products, and 5 pungent flavors, alcohol and fermented dairy, and foul or noxious foods.
I mean, you don't take too much this what they call spicy thing.
Hmm.
Okay, it will interfere with the medicines. Okay, like in India, a lot of masala. There's
Yeah.
no good. When you have
Hmm.
fever, where all these things are cut, reduce on that.
Okay. I think next slide. See contemporary preparation here.
Yeah.
This is what
The modern
yeah
preparation.
modern preparation for everyone to take notes is
Yeah.
the quitzer, that's cinnamon twigs 9 grams,
Yeah.
saoyao, that's pony roots
9
9
gram.
grams, shigan
吃甘草面的 honey
kansao
coated licorice.
gansao honey coated
6
licorice 6 grams,
fresh
then
ginger.
fresh ginger
9,
9 grams,
9 gram or
and
3 slices normally.
3 slices. Okay.
Yeah.
And
大枣,
jujube.
jujube.
Now,
Yeah, 4 piece.
Dr. Jujube. India
Yeah.
also has its own jujube. Then there are
Yeah.
these
All jujube are similar, the same.
also.
Okay.
Okay.
Only thing is that Chinese jujube are a little bit big. So Indian, there are two types of jujube. One is a small one. Small one you should double it about 8 pieces, 8 to 10 pieces. Then you have this green jujube in India.
Yeah.
Okay, the one you take 4 pieces. You can take the fresh one or the dry one is the same.
Okay.
Okay. Then the cinnamon, one thing we need to cinnamon is not a pressure tea, that you can take every day. Cinnamon can boost your heart, and regulate your stomach. So you take a little bit of cinnamon, it's good for your heart and your stomach. But you take it every day, it will destroy your heart and your stomach. Be careful on that.
But in India, doctor, every day in the tea they put cinnamon every day, every time.
That's why India people have so many cardiac problems.
Oh.
You see, your masala, you take a little bit, it's good for your stomach,
Yeah.
But you take it overdose every day, it will destroy your stomach, That's why India, so many people are having stomach problem.
So our cinnamon is not only in tea, doctor. We put it in the masala also.
Yeah, put in masala, put it everywhere. No, don't do that now. Cinnamon is a medicine, no. It's not. You should not drink it. You should not take it for fun.
I think this is a very important note for all Indians who are watching here, that
and
be careful when you use cinnamon.
This have been advised by Zhang Chongqing 2,000 years ago. Don't take it for fun.
Okay, then after taking all these, you have to add 600 ml of water, boil to 200 ml, strain out the spent herbs. When the metabolism is low, it cannot hold the body fluid, always lead to spontaneous sweating, long period bleeding, frequent urination, and etc.
You see, when a woman have a long period of bleeding, you know the metabolism is low.
Hmm.
Okay, so every night you have to go to a toilet 3 to 4 times, frequent urination. That means the metabolism is low. But now we're talking about spontaneous sweating. Don't confuse yourself with the long period bleeding, what frequent urination. The treatment is not the same.
Hmm.
桂枝汤 cannot be used for frequent urination. Remember that? And
Uh-huh.
桂枝汤 cannot be used for water retention inside the body.
Hmm.
When you have water retention in your lung and in your stomach, you take 桂枝汤, you cause nausea.
So, doctor, you told me that all these herbs, there is a logical reason why they are used. So, when
Yeah,
you use kuchatang, is basically for a particular reason, right? Then now
yeah,
we
for exogen.
realized, yeah,
Let me explain. You want to induce the sweating.
yeah,
The main herb is 桂枝 lah.
kucha.
The main herb, yeah, that is saying, okay. Then in order to regulate the metabolism, the water inside your body, you put in the saoyao, the pony root.
Hmm.
Okay. Then also, when you are sweating, okay, you need to strengthen the stomach. Because stomach is a source of water. You drink water to the stomach. Stomach must be active enough to absorb the fruits, to facilitate sweating. Okay. Then he put in this ginger and licorice. Licorice, ginger, and jujube. Licorice, ginger, and jujube are very good for stomach. You see a jujube in India are not viewed properly. They take jujube as some kind of low-ranking food.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
wrong. Jujube is very important herbs, to strengthen your stomach. That's why in Chinese, they always put into the soup, for
yeah.
jujube. They boil any soup, so they put in some jujube. Okay, it's good for this thing. Then of course the ginger and also the licorice.
Fantastic.
Now,
So, doctor, as I understand, cinnamon twig to induce sweating, pony root to
to
regulate that
control.
particular control, and
Yeah.
licorice, ginger, and jujube to strengthen the stomach because that's
Yes,
the
yes,
source of your
yes,
water, correct?
yes, yeah, correct.
Fantastic logic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we
Amazing.
come to the veggie. Let's say
Yeah.
you don't get cinnamon sticks. You don't have pony in India. What you do? So anything spicy, normally can induce sweating. For example, the leek, okay,
Uh-huh.
the spring onion, the onion, okay, even this garlic, all those are spicy food, okay, you can replace the creature. Okay, but it's wet, it's wet. Normally you put 30 gram. 30 gram, these are the thing. Then for pony we use this tomato. We use tomato to replace. Tomato is very important to regulate the body foods of the body. Okay. Then for the licorice, when you don't have licorice, you can add in licorice and jujube. What we do, in Europe, in other places, we put in the palm dates, You see now the Ramadan, people take palm dates,
Yeah.
Then they can replace the licorice and jujube.
Mm-hmm.
And then fresh ginger, of course, everyone have it inside the kitchen. You can use the fresh ginger. Okay, so that we can produce the so-called leek soup. Okay, for example, leek or spring onion, 30 gram. Then this tomato, 30 gram. Okay, then this about 4 or 5 pieces of this dates.
Palm date.
Palm seed. Then 3 slices of this ginger. Then it can have the same effect as this quizzatang.
Wow. So we have our own leek soup then.
Yeah, Rick. So let me give you one testimony. Many years ago, okay, I went to Ethiopia. Okay, our main stockist is coming back from America. That times the America is summer. It's about 40 degrees. So when you go to Ethiopia, suddenly the temperature drop to 2 or 3 degrees at night. Suddenly you have very bad flu. Then she told me, you take her at least 2 weeks now to recover. So I said, very sorry, I cannot entertain you. Okay. So I take a pause a week, Okay. aversion to cold. This is a very simple symptom. With Kui Zhi Tang, you can solve the thing. But the problem like Ethiopia, they don't have any Kui Zhi, no? They don't have pony. What should I do? So I asked her to bring me to supermarket. No, I buy the leek, tomato, okay, and dates. Leek, tomato, dates, and also ginger. Then we boil it, Then at night she started to drink, and she told me, she sweat throughout the night, And when she sweat, she feel worried because last time when he sweats, he always have sore throat. The next day, telephone to me, the excitement, all the fever have gone, all the flu has gone, and the good thing is that the throat never feel dry.
Wow.
So I told him that is the effect of tomato.
Tomato, yeah.
Tomato, Then the leek, what do you call, or the spring onion, can can remove the sweats, can induce the sweats, Then the dates, sometimes when you don't have licorice, you can use brown sugar. Like my father, he seldom use licorice in his formulation. He always use brown sugars.
Yep.
You as a herbalist, you must understand, you should be able to get what do you call, substitute,
replacement.
Yeah, the replacement, yeah. You see, we always say that a good Kung Fu master, you give anything to him can become a weapon.
Correct.
So a good herbalist, give us any plant can become a herbs,
True.
Yeah. So I always joke, our kitchen will become our this what do you call,
Pharmacy.
pharmacies, yeah.
So
We
I
have
think
a lot of testimony in the future. I think we talk more about that. Today we continue. Yeah.
we continue, and I think a good warning for everybody that cinnamon is not something that you consume every day.
No.
Please,
Don't take every day. Even masala, masala,
Don't add it into masala every day.
No, even your cooking masala, don't take full of masala every day. You destroy your stomach system, no.
Yes.
You see, in India, how many people are suffering for stomach problem? Almost
True.
60 or 70% come to us have stomach problem, no.
Yes. Doctor, next slide we go.
Yeah,
13,
next slide,
verse number 13. We are doing in exogenous disease, the Taiyang disease, with headache, fever, spontaneous sweating, and aversion to wind. Quitzer, Tang, that's the decoction, is the main treatment.
Yeah.
Formula 2, use the previous Formula 1. Now,
so you see, the keyword is headache, fever,
headache, yeah.
and we call wet skin, spontaneous sweating, aversion to cold. So these are the characteristics of Kui Zhi Tang.
Yes.
But one thing, the throat is not very thirsty, When have severe thirst, then this does. That means dehydration already come in already. Be careful. Then also nausea, also be careful. Nausea, that means the stomach have a water retention, Or serious cough, also be careful. That means retention of water in the lung. Kui Zhi Tang cannot treat water retention, Water retention, you have to treat with ephedra or this poria to induce urine. When you have fever but no water retention, we induce sweating, When you have water, how do you know you have water retention in the lung? Coughing, and panting.
Correct.
Water retention in the stomach, then you have this vomiting,
Nausea.
nausea, and also loose motion.
Yes.
Then Kui Zhi Tang do not apply. Because Kui Zhi Tang increase it hydrate the body, So your body already retention with water, you hydrate it, like make it worse,
Yes.
Yeah. Careful with that.
Yeah. Verse 14, we go.
Yeah.
In exogenous disease, when the neck and the back are stiff and there is sweating with aversion to wind, Kui Zhi Tang plus Gegen is the main treatment. Formula 3. Gegen is basically
Kurgan.
Kagan. Okay,
G
Kagan.
produce at K, Chinese
K,
don't
okay.
have.
G. Okay, is it Kagan?
Yeah, soft K, Kurgan.
Kagan.
Yeah,
Then
yeah.
Mahawang. That's
Mahawang.
ephedra.
Yeah.
And again, pony roots.
Yeah.
Then we have fresh ginger. Then we have licorice, honey fried. We have jujube. Then we have Quitzer. Here again, Dr. Quitzer.
Yeah,
The
Quitzer,
above
yeah.
ingredient. Yeah.
But they say that ma huang is wrongly put here, no?
Okay.
If I draw, you should take away ma huang.
Okay.
It's only Quitzer plus Kirken, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Continue.
Continue. Let's go to the next slide. Add 1 dough of water. First boil in the mahong and the kagan and reducing by 2 sheng. Remove the foam on top. Then add the remaining ingredients. Boil and reduce to 3 sheng. Remove the dregs and take 1 sheng warm. Cover and obtain a slight sweat. It is not necessary to sip rice gruel. The remainder follows the Quicher method for convalescence and prohibitions. Wei Yi and others respectfully note according to Chongqing's original treatise. Exoying with spontaneous sweating uses Quicher. Exoyang without sweating uses Mawang. Now the signs here state sweating with aversion to wind, yet the formula contains Mawang. This is likely not the original intent.
Yeah, wrongly put in.
Oh,
The student
wrongly.
wrongly put in, yeah.
Okay. Next slide. In volume 3, there is a Kagan decoction formula that states no sweating with aversion to wind, which exactly matches this formula, thus making the use of Mawang appropriate. Here it is called the Quiche plus Kagan decoction. It is likely that only Kagan was added to Quiche, contemporary formulation and preparation. Kagan, that's 12 gram. Quiche, cinnamon twigs, 6 gram. Then Sao Yao,
So yeah, 6 gram.
is 6 gram. Then you have again ginger.
Senchang.
That ginger is 9
Yeah,
gram, and
licorice.
licorice is 6 grams, and your jujube is
Jubi
4
4
pieces.
pieces.
Yeah. Yes, doctor. The logic here.
Yeah, no, the logic is very simple, no.
Huh.
Sometimes they have exogenous problem, but they have this stiffness of neck, you know, it is very
Yes.
common, you know. When someone
yes.
slip wrongly, sometimes the neck becomes stiff, no. You
Yes.
add in Kirken, no. Add in Kirken is a kind of tuber.
Okay.
They call it Waladi, I think, in this.
Oh, Vidari Kand.
Virali.
Oh,
Yeah,
very common in India.
Yeah, very common in India. Yeah. So in supermarket in Malaysia, you know, you can get it in a supermarket. People always cook it with chicken, you know, to prepare chicken soups.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in the absence of Kirken, you can use sweet potato, sweet tomato, potato,
Sweet potato. Okay.
or you use a normal potato.
Mm-hmm.
That's like in Europe, you know, they have this different necks, no? I asked them to put lick soap and add potato.
Mm-hmm.
And it worked very well.
Okay.
Worked very well.
Yeah. Let's take next slide. We see for your notes. It seems that with spontaneous sweating, mahong is not applicable and need not be put into the formula. 1 dough is 2000 cc in modern measurement. Sheng is an ancient Chinese measurement of liquid about 200 ml. Liang is a Chinese ounce about 30 grams. We here mentioned the bark of cinnamon twigs are to be removed, but in practical usage, we never remove the bark. The indication may be to advise don't use the thick bark cinnamon here.
Yeah. Don't remove the bark.
Yeah.
The bark is very important for using, no. How do you remove? And that's why in ancient language, you're very careful, no. It means you don't use the thick twigs, no. The twig with thick skin, then you cannot use thick bark. I mean, you use the thin one. It's about the size of a finger, no. The twigs. So if it's like the thumb size, then it's too big already. Yeah. So Kirken is very important, you know. Kirken, is to put in is for the stiffness of the neck. That is very common, you know. Especially nowadays, people are in front of the computer, you know. I see many ladies, you know. I using this quiz plus Kirken for many ladies who are sitting in front of computer, you know. After that, always have stiff neck. It's very good.
So, doctor, this is basically Kagan is for stiff necks, right?
Yeah, stiff necks. Yeah.
Okay.
Stiff neck are also for the what do you call stiffness of the limbs, no?
Limbs. Okay.
Yeah.
Verse 15, we go in exogenous disease. After purgation, if the energy chi surges upward, tongue may be given using the previous method. If there is no upward surging, it must not be given. Formula 4. Notes: upward surges of energy can be referred to nausea and vomiting, asthma and panting, etc. After purging, energy surges upward indicate wrong treatment and purging is a mistake. Doctor.
Yeah. No, you see, when you're exogenous problem, you don't purge, no.
Ah.
You purge, then the body will try to you purge, you push the energy down, no.
Mm-hmm.
Then the body try to balance back you push the energy up. So when you
Mm-hmm.
push the energy up, your lung it cause panting, you know,
Mm-hmm.
asthma and panting. Okay. Then for the stomach, then it causes vomiting or nausea.
Mm-hmm.
Qi means energy, you know. Qi means energy. So when you induce purging, suddenly a person is panting, you know, or nausea, you know, or vomiting, that means your purging is wrong.
Technically, there is no need to give purging in an
I
doctor.
mean, nowadays all the quick doctors doing that now.
Exactly. Everybody,
You
everybody
see,
want to
the
purge.
quick doctor of ancient time today, they think there are three things now. First, they induce sweating, you know.
Huh.
Okay, they put you into the sauna box or anything, induce sweating. They say,
Yeah.
hey, it's not treated, no. Then they say detox, no. Okay, then they give you the kind of purging medicine to purge.
Huh.
They say, hey, nothing happened, no. Okay, then they apply heat on you.
Hmm.
2,000 years ago, it's like this. Today, it's like that, you know.
Today
Be
also
careful
like
about
this
that.
also.
So you
Yes,
as a
yes.
doctor, no, you as a doctor, people come to see you. He's panting, no, he's vomiting. But before that, he meets some doctor induced purging, no. Then you must know that this quick doctor have do something wrong.
Doctor, very one most common misconception here is that you take some purging medicine. That is the first line of your treatment, and people keep on
Nah,
taking
nah,
it
nah,
over the
nah.
counter also.
If the problem is exogenous, you put purging, the disease will go inside, you know. It cause
Oh.
complication.
Hmm.
Nowadays, too many of this, no, they in the name of detoxification, you know.
Yes, 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 yes.
They
Wow.
ask you to take the kind of this what they call the purging medicines, no, then the purge out
Yeah.
the whole thing, so that if the person is weak in metabolism, you purge, he may die, you know.
My goodness.
Purging can reduce the metabolism seriously, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously, yeah.
This is an eye opener. Shang Han Lun is an eye opener. Okay. 16, verse 16.
Yeah.
In exogenous disease lasting 3 days, if sweating has already been induced or vomiting or purgation.
Yeah.
So, yeah, in exogenous Taiyang disease lasting 3 days, if sweating has already been induced or vomiting or purgation or warming with needles has been applied, yet the condition still does not resolve. This is called a complication. Quichetang is not appropriate to give. Observe its pulse and symptoms, determine which meal practice has been committed, and treat according to the symptoms. Quitzer is originally for losing the muscle stiffness. If the patient's pulse is floating and tight with fever and no sweating, it must not be given. One must always recognize this and not allow mistakes to be made. Formula 5.
You see, when the pulse is tight, okay, and no sweating, that means there's water retention in the body, you know. When there's water retention, you don't use squeezer, no. It will disturb the system even more. Can you hear me, Rajesh?
I think, yeah. So I have an audio issue at my end. But doctor, the next says quack doctors always first induce sweating. If the disease is not cured, then induce purging or vomiting. If
Yeah,
not cured, then apply heat or fire, as you
yeah,
said.
yeah. Last time, ancient
Next
time like
slide.
that, today also like that. You go to many health center, you know. Sometimes the first thing first they do is detox. So that's why they induce purging, you know. I
Yeah.
had treated a lot of that in Malaysia, you know, wrong treatment, you know. So when the patient come to us, a half dead, you know. Be careful about that, you know. Purging should not simply induce purging, you know. Purging can reduce the metabolism very much. If the body is already very weak, you purge him, he may die, you know. Be careful about that, you know. It's fatal, you know. Okay, let's continue.
Okay. Can we go to the next slide? Yeah, here, Dr. Quichatang is warm in nature and good to boost the metabolism. In the case of excess metabolism, where the pulse is strong or tense, Quichatang should not be used.
Yes. In the metabolism, how do you know that metabolism is excess? First, the patient is talkative, keep on talking, and agitated.
Hmm.
Okay, then restless,
Hmm.
he cannot sit quietly. Then you know, it's, all these are common sense, He sit there quietly, no eye contact. You ask him also, he's very lazy to answer you. Of course, they're low in metabolism.
I think very easy.
Yeah, very
Okay.
easy. Yeah.
17th. If an alcoholic becomes ill, Quichatang decoction must not be given. If it is given, vomiting will occur because alcoholics normally have stomach water retention and do not tolerate sweetness. Notes. Quitzer flavor is said to be sweet and can boost the metabolism of the stomach or gastrointestinal system. It hydrates the stomach system. So, if the stomach is water congested, Quichatang can cause vomiting. Yes.
You see, the alcoholic people always have water retention in the stomach,
Yes.
That's
Yes.
why the stomach are bloated, Okay?
Mm.
So if they have water retention in the stomach, you take Quiz Tang hydrate it further. Then of course you have problem, Too
Mm.
much water already, you add in more water, of course there's a problem.
Yeah.
You see, when you apply Quiz Tang, how do you know that your application is wrong? You apply, suddenly the person becomes nausea,
Mm.
vomiting. Sometimes they smell the medicine, so they feel nausea, there be something wrong already. You want lick soup, Some people have water retention in the stomach or lung, When he smell it alone, it make him nausea,
Mm.
Then this definitely is not working. So then you have to use Korea, you have to use this diuretic herbs, to change the creature to this thing, like using radish instead of using lick, okay, to induce urination.
Doctor, one very interesting fact that I'm learning here is that you're applying it means even Chang Chung Ching apply the herbs based on the symptoms. So it is more to observe the symptoms. Based on that, he's using the herbs, not on the basis
Yes,
of the
yes.
classification of the herbs and the properties of herbs. He's not just blindly using it.
You should analyze the physics,
Mm-hmm.
You don't apply the herbs blindly,
Mm.
like closing your eye and try to suit, No. You have to see clearly, vipassana. You have to see it clearly, understand it clearly to apply herbs.
Beautiful. Let's take next slide.
Yeah.
Three more to go. Yeah, three more to go. Yeah, in patients with dyspnea or asthma, when preparing quitcha decoction, adding how bo, that's
Hopo.
magnolia, hopo,
Ah.
magnolia bark, and zingren. How do you apricot kernel is appropriate? What's this, doctor?
Yeah, I think magnolia is very common in India. The
Yes.
one, the white and beautiful flower one, is
Mm-hmm.
the skin, the bark of the tree.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Single this apricot kernel, that one also very common in India.
Mm-hmm.
Also in the West. Okay, apricot kernel. Okay, this hopo is the bark of the magnolia.
Mm-hmm.
This one is very good for asthma, asthma and panting. You
Mm-hmm.
see, when a person is having this, you see, when we say flus, there are so many types of flu. When you say lungs flu, that means you cause asthma and cause panting. Stomach flu, you cause vomiting,
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then the urinary flu cause difficulty in urine.
Mm-hmm.
Colon flu, you cause diarrhea.
Mm-hmm.
Then the muscle flu, cause the pain of muscle. So all these Zhang Zhongxing have different formulation, That's why
Mm-hmm.
during the COVID time, when people say COVID, you must say whether it's lungs problem, it's stomach problem, or is a urinary problem, or colon problem, or muscle problem, The treatment is not the same. Sometimes the treatment is additive, based on top of a quiz. Quiz tongue is very good for the flus, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But the flu together with asthma and this thing, then you add in the magnolia bark and also the
Uh-huh.
apricot kernel.
Yeah. In all cases where quichatang decoction causes vomiting after being taken, afterward there will certainly be vomiting of pus and blood. Notes. After consuming Quichatang and feeling nausea or vomiting, this is due to water retention in the stomach or stomach ulcer. In
You
case of
see,
ulcer, may vomit dark blood. Yes, doctor.
vomit dark blood, I mean, it's ulcer.
Hmm.
Stomach ulcer, that's very, very important. When you have stomach ulcer, no, your stomach have water retention and also have this blood stasis, no?
Hmm.
Then you vomit is a black blood.
Hmm.
Oh, this is very risky, you know. That means ulcer, no. Be careful about that.
Hmm.
Then of course you don't use Kuizitang, no. Kuizitang is the wrong treatment. You see, the Zhang Zhongping not only tell you the using of the formula, no. He also tell you when the formula is using wrongly, what will be the
Yeah.
counter indication, you know. Then you as doctors also know.
Hmm.
Yeah.
In exogenous, last one for today. In
Yeah.
exogenous disease, after inducing sweating, if there is profuse sweating without stopping, the patient experiences aversion to wind, difficult urination, slight tension of the forelimbs, and difficult in flexion and extension. Quichatang plus Fuzi governs
Futsu.
this. Futsa
Futsu
governs
is aconite.
aconite. Oh.
Yeah. You see, sometimes when a doctor over inducing sweating, you know.
Hmm.
Okay, so how to stop the sweating?
Yeah.
Okay, then on top of the Kuizitang, you put in the Futsu. Futsu means the lateral roots of aconite, you know.
Hmm.
Okay, it's a very warm herb. Now you stop the sweating.
Hmm.
This is very important. But aconite is herbs. Now you have to be very careful. Oh.
Hmm.
Okay, this thing, and in certain countries is banned, you know,
Hmm.
because it's very. But
Toxic.
Chinese they use this treated aconite.
Right. Hmm.
I have used it many times without any problem. No.
Hmm.
You see, Zhang Zhongzheng say, if you dare not apply poison, you cannot become a good doctor, no?
Hmm.
Sometimes certain symptoms you have to use poison to counteract the symptom, no?
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay, so that, and this aconite is very, very common in India.
Hmm. Yeah, it's common.
Homeopathy also, homeopathy also they use it.
Yeah. Next slide, can we go? For today, yeah. So, doctor,
Yeah,
here, cinnamon twig, that's the quitzer. Then we have saupayao, that's pony root, 3 liang. Then licorice, honey fried, 3 liang, and then fresh ginger. And
yeah,
those aconite and yeah, this is the formula for that only, right, doctor?
yeah, formula, yeah. Now,
Yeah.
in case you are worried about foods, you can use the thick cinnamon to replace it.
Okay.
Can use the thick cinnamon or the kasa cinnamon, not the
Mm-hmm.
Sri Lanka one, the kasa
Mm-hmm.
cinnamon. You can use it to replace the this thing. The thick cinnamon is very easy available in
Very easy.
supermarket. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. So in case that you're worried about the poisonous effect of foods, you can use thick cinnamon.
So I think today we stop here, but remember, as doctor told, that this learning is a slow learning. We don't need to hurry. We go slowly to understanding the logic, and then we will also open the floor for questions. So you can raise your hands if you have any questions, and we can ask. So doctor, just quickly summarize the first, if you want to.
Yeah, you see, now you have learned a few formula. The
Yeah.
good thing about Zhang Zhongjing is that they are the main formula.
Hmm.
Okay, then depend on the variants of the symptom we add in, For
Yeah.
example, you have exogenous, you have neck pain, you have this neck stiffness, body pains, aversion to cold, this thing, you quit the tongue. But you have excessive neck pain, then you add in Kirken.
Ah.
Okay, then with excessive sweating, okay,
Hmm.
then they add in the foods, the
Hmm.
aconite. Okay,
Hmm.
so now, recently I went to Latin America, okay, now I feel very sick,
Hmm.
okay, then sweating a lot,
Hmm.
then after that, I not doze off, it's almost like lost my consciousness, it's very
Hmm.
serious thing, okay,
Hmm.
I mean my metabolism suddenly come down,
Hmm.
okay, what should I do? So I asked the project, to bring me this cinnamon
Hmm.
and also dried ginger,
Hmm.
so I make it into tea. Then my sweating stopped,
Mm.
Then it boosts my metabolism, and then I become okay. So this is how we apply the theory from Zhang Zhongjing, you know.
So you replace the doctor. You replace the aconite with cinnamon
Cinnamon.
to
Because
stop the sweating.
aconite in many countries are banned, you know. Be very
Ah.
careful, you know. In America, it's banned, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Only a registered doctor can use aconite.
Mm-hmm.
They are not using the aconite. They use the lateral roots of the aconite. Aconite very, very poisonous, no. But the lateral root are not so poisonous.
Correct. Understood.
You
Understood.
have a lot in India. The flower is very beautiful, no. But they
Mm-hmm.
always in a cold place,
Mm-hmm.
and it's extremely warm, no, very warm.
So
Then
happy
see
learning.
you tomorrow.
Yeah. Thank you so much, doctor. Yeah.
For the agamas and continue.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
so much. Yeah.
Yeah.
So end of class today, students, and we see you tomorrow again at 11. Till then, take your notes, study. So again, thank you so much for your time. We'll see you in the next class. Till then, have a great day. Bye-bye.
Before we ending, we would like to share a quick disclaimer. This program explores Shang Han Lun for educational purposes only. The content reflects traditional knowledge and personal interpretations, and is not medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. It follows YouTube guidelines and does not promote harmful or misleading practices. Please consult a qualified healthcare professional before applying any information. Seoul, Sunya Open University Learning is not responsible for any outcomes based on this content.